When was the last time you saw a new game coming out from a big studio that you were excited for? Probably been a while, huh? Yeah, same here, and it's honestly getting really old at this point. Hell man, even indie games at this point are starting to become tainted with the nonsense that mainstream games are. There is a plague in gaming right now, and it's infected every echelon of the industry. There are a couple sixes on the horizon that everyone seems to be ravenously chomping at the bit to get more information on, and those are obviously GTA 6 and the Elder Scrolls 6. One of those has at least something to look forward to, but the other, obvious subject of the day if you read the title, has had much less released about it. But with Bethesda's recent track record, you have to ask the question, do you even want the Elder Scrolls 6 at this point? For starters, what was the last good Bethesda game to come out? And no, Oblivion Remastered does not count. That's just a pretty skin on a game from 2006. The Bethesda that made that game is not the same Bethesda that releases games today. The studio of 2006, or hell, even 2011, would have never even considered releasing something at the quality of Starfield upon the world. I know the Elder Scrolls is an entirely different beast and whatnot, and might be a different dev team, but guys, come on, let's be real here. Do you really expect there to be any more quality put into the next Elder Scrolls just because it's an Elder Scrolls game? I say not at all. It's evident that there's an issue in the very structure of the studio itself. The rot has infested the rat's nest, so to say. It's beyond saving, and at this point just needs a good dose of napalm to prevent any further damage to the once shining reputation of the studio.
Napalm firebombs.
I'm gonna tell you right now that if you're excited for the story of this game, that you shouldn't be. Why? 2 words. Emil Pagliarulo. Emil? This guy is a lead game designer and writer at Bethesda, and from the looks of things, he's not going anywhere. What's so bad about this dude? Basically, any time in a Bethesda game, going back to Oblivion, you notice anything that feels off or the story feels poorly written, good chances this self-righteous chucklefuck rubbed his raccoon paws together and shat that part of the game out. This includes the Skyrim Dark Brotherhood, which I know people love to talk endlessly about how terrible and plot-hole-ridden it is. Now you may be sitting here saying, now listen here you, this is all arbitrary, and you're not making any good points. Well, allow me to tell you how wrong you are. This guy was the lead designer of Starfield. Not for nothing, this shows that a lack of attention to detail and care for the story has infected the higher-ups in the studio. Hard to tell the lead designer his design is dog shit when he's, you know, the lead designer, and if the lead designer is there from seemingly seniority alone, there's no reason to expect him to get any better. The dude is absolutely full of himself, there's going to be no change in quality. If you want to tell me to be excited for the next Elder Scrolls game, you're going to have to announce it right after the announcement that this man has lost his job. But allow me a brief analogy here. There are several types of mushrooms that grow exclusively on trees. This can only occur after the mushroom's mycelium, kinda like its roots, has spread throughout the tree. Some types of mushrooms do this parasitically and use the tree's already established mass as food to consume. Point being, you won't see mushrooms in these conditions unless the tree is already done for. The tree in this scenario is quite obviously Bethesda. The mushrooms, either Emil himself or the bad games. Both. Let's just say both. But this is new, and rot takes a while to take hold. This didn't come about overnight. Ladies and gentlemen, let us go all the way back to Fallout 4. God, I wanted this game to be good. I expected this game to be good. I think everyone did. But then we saw the dialogue system. Then we played the game and experienced whatever the hell the story was. It wasn't good, and time has not changed that opinion, it would seem. Now, why is this relevant? Well, the last game that Bethesda had published before this was Skyrim.
What about Fallout Shelter?
Shut the fuck up, that doesn't count. I tried. I gave it a God's honest try, but I just couldn't do it, man. By the time I got into the meat of the game, I was already insanely bored with it and never gave it a second thought once I decided it wasn't worth my time. And you know what? I think that was largely the experience the majority had with this game. Fun at first, cracks start to show, and then bam. Kill your son because he's the bad guy. Didn't see that coming, did you? Weren't your expectations subverted? Fucking kill me. That was the first time that an eyebrow was raised at Bethesda. Well, the first time that matters to this video anyway. But I think too many people were willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, so they made a bad Fallout game. The last one they made was alright, but the other one was made by Obsidian, so let's be honest, their track record isn't the strongest. The only previous Fallout Bethesda developed before 4 was 3, so it's not like they had a game that completely knocked it out of the park like New Vegas did. Honestly, I would believe that New Vegas did a lot of the legwork to hype up Fallout 4, and for evidently very unjustified reasons. Now, that's not to sit here and shit on Fallout 3, but come on, man. It's not New Vegas. Now, all of that said, I have to ask, why would you ever trust Bethesda to make the Elder Scrolls 6 any good? Okay, now, I unfortunately went to college, but there I did learn that it's usually good to include an argument from the other side, only to completely refute it and give them no way to defend themselves from thorough rhetorical annihilation. So look, it's completely fair to say that the Elder Scrolls shouldn't be viewed like the other games Bethesda has released. Elder Scrolls is their longest running and most successful IP to date, and it's one that they've owned since the beginning. It's their baby. They definitely take the time to make the next game good. It's likely why it's taking so long is because they're concerned about failing expectations, especially after most people were at least mildly disappointed with Fallout 4. But let me ask you, do you really think that a lead game designer that is known for plot holes and poor implementation of storytelling is going to give a single shit about the world and the lore? Elder Scrolls lore is absolutely batshit crazy and insanely deep. Do you think this absolute dingus is going to be able to make a whole game with a consistent story that doesn't absolutely break canon in some way, shape, or form? Couldn't even maintain a consistent story within a side quest line in one game. And I know that the team is more than just one guy, but when your team lead is a guy that's been around forever and has several projects under his belt, you likely don't question him too much. It's just like George Lucas in Star Wars. During the original trilogy, he had oversight and editors, mainly his wife, to tell him some of his ideas were fucking stupid. During the prequels, as absolutely amazing as they are, he didn't have that. Everyone was too afraid to tell him some of the things he wanted to do were really dumb. And that's why you get so many odd things in those movies. It's gonna be the same thing with Elder Scrolls 6, except the lead dev team is not comprised of a single member of the original team that envisioned the Elder Scrolls and its world. We have seen time and time again that this rarely results in anything worth a damn. There is no incentive for the people running things to respect the previous entries because it's not theirs. It's not something they've all slaved away at for years. They're a new team with fresh eyes that will absolutely do whatever they can to shit on previous games and lore in an effort to make the world their own vision of it. Many such cases. Do you really think that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be the one exception? Based on what track record? Your fanboyism is misplaced. Why Bethesda of all companies? So at the end of the day, do you really even want a new Elder Scrolls game? Like I showcased in my There Will Never Be Another Game Like Skyrim video, Skyrim isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And with the new Oblivion remaster, it's gained even more staying power. There's hours worth of content in these games and tons of replay value. That's not to mention any mods and officially published fan content that is constantly coming out for Skyrim. If you really wanted to, you can install enough mods and fan-made storylines that it would be an entirely different game. While I definitely understand the hype for a new Elder Scrolls, I think that that will ultimately lead to disappointment. I don't trust any AAA studio to make a good product these days, and Bethesda has a proven track record of inadequacy. Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim may be masterpieces in their own rights, but there's unfortunately no reason to believe that the Elder Scrolls 6 will join those prestigious ranks. Anyway, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. I want to hear in the comments below what you think of all this. Do you trust Elder Scrolls 6 to be good? Do you think Bethesda has one more good game left in them? If so, please explain to me how. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like below, and if you made it this far, I think that means you liked it at least a little. Also, if you want to see more gaming content, be sure to hit that subscribe button below too. I post every other weekend, so there's plenty more to come. All that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!